Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So here we are again with the setups that we had already covered, one of them. So we have already talked about golden zone. Okay, so as a revision, so let's go over this one. So we're going to have five setups, actually four core setups and one version of the last setup here. So golden zone was when we had one engulfing, which was created by two candles rather than one candle. And this was the part, I mean, SNR part that we called it golden level. So this one is from rally to base and drop scenario, which is swing high, and this one is a swing low. So now we're going to move to multi-time frame EG. So multi-time frame EG is like this one, okay? So first we need to have in the golden zone, we were just looking at how it formed in the time frame that we are. But in multi-time frame EG zone, we need first number one, we need to have higher time frame EG. This black box, okay, is our higher time frame EG, okay, engulfing. So first we need the green bullish candle. Later we will wait till the bearish candle is finished, okay? So we're not going to the lower time frame unless we have the end of this candle, the close of this candle. So after it is formed, this is our very first condition formed, okay? Later on, if we go based on the time sequence, so first we're going to have, we're just going to look at this candles inside these two candles. So the higher time frame candles, and these are lower time frame candles, we have a failed engulfing buy, okay, which means it was broken, okay, and also we have engulfing. So this one is not overlapping with the lower one, okay. In this scenario, we call it multi-time frame EG. It means that they don't have any overlapping zones. The same happens here. So first we need to just wait for a higher time frame to be completed. So after the close of the candle, so you'll come inside this candle and you will find this scenario. So one engulfing, which is failed. This is engulfing sell, which was failed by an engulfing buy. But this engulfing buy doesn't have any overlapping with this engulfing failed. Okay, so if you dive into the let's say inside these candles, so these scenarios happens inside these candles, but we are intentionally trying to avoid this looking to the lower time frame before our candle higher time frame engulfing is formed. Okay, so the reason is that we want to just find the high liquidity zones and filter it out and narrow it down. Otherwise, if you look at inside this one, these candles are happening inside this package of these two higher time frame candles. So, and the same for the bearish scenario. Look, the same stuff inside this candle, but we're avoiding to look inside these candles up until this candle close happen and this candle close happen. That's why I'm going to hide them and not to confuse you with this graphics. So now we didn't have any overlapping here. In AB, so ABs are actually one engulfing, the same as this one, multi-time frame, exactly the same, but the difference is, the nuance is here, that they have some overlapping here. So now have a look at this one here, okay? This one, okay, we're gonna wait till this engulfing happens. Don't just be tempted to go inside this one and just assume that, okay, it's going to close here, I'm going to be like a little smarter. Never ever go inside this time frame uh, to be a little bit ahead of the other people. So you have to realize that this engulfing system is just analyzing swing points. Okay, we're going to decode and understand what happens inside swing points. So to have huge RR with lowest risk on the table. So now this EG is here again, and this failed engulf is a little bit upper, and they're overlapping. This zone is very important for us. Okay, this overlapping zone is very, very important for us. So now this is the place you can expect to, okay, have some reaction. Okay, so as you remember, so in previous step, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go back to the overall strategy. I think it was video 31 or 2, I don't remember it exactly, but engulfing system. First, we were supposed to find the direction. After the direction is confirmed, so we say confirmation of direction. Okay, these two steps are for direction identification. You can use BBMA, you can use leg counting, you can use Malaysian SNR, rejections of higher time frames, VNA, and later the lower time frame breakout to just see which direction is price heading. This is our first step. Now, the second step is just finding the zone. Okay, this is the zone. We haven't gotten inside that one. So these are the zones that we now delve into this one and find entry points here. Okay, inside this zones, and you can take your trades from here and put your stop in a safe position, and later expect and move on with the price actions. So the way price is showing its hand to you. So now in the swing low scenario here, so we have the same stuff but overlapping. Now, the same stuff happens inside this candles. Don't just get tempted to get inside this one. Okay, these are the same thing which happens inside this swing. Okay, candles that we're breaking candles into swings here. Okay, now let's move to the fourth one. Okay, the fourth one is QM, or the same scenario happens, but we have something else. Okay, something more happens inside. After we have this one is happened. So this candle should be here, let's say. Now, and this one should be here. Okay, this engulfing in the higher time frame happened. Now, if we get inside this time frame, okay, one time frame below, you'll see that engulfing failed, and we have also engulfing. Okay, so these two have overlapping, let's say, and the overlapping is in the upper side in the swing high. Later, we have engulfing. So, which again happened in this zone. Okay, here is the place you're going to take the trade. But there is one more criteria. You have to just consider how many candles uh, after just leaving out the zone. At least we need to have two candles. Okay, later it returns back to that zone and again creates another engulfing. So here, the same scenario for the bearish story. So here we have the higher time frame engulfing. This candle is closed. Okay, now you have right to go to the lower time frame to identify first an EF failed engulf, and later EG. Okay, and later see that if they have overlapping or not. And at the end of the day, if they are overlapped, it is like this one. And if we have another scenario, we're adding one more engulfing here. It becomes a high quality what? High quality setup, which is A, B, now this one is C, okay? So in other words, this engulfing fail, if you look at it, this level of engulfing fail is what? This level is QM level, okay? It means that this QM level, if it is before this QM, we have this higher time during engulfing, this is going to be very, very high probable. So if you go and back test it for yourself, just try to find engulfing zone, I mean engulfing pattern, and in the higher time frame, find one, um, what do we say, engulfing here, okay? So I mean that find QM here or here. Later, have a look at the higher time frame engulfing, so have confirmation. So we don't do that. We want to trade with the confirmation. So that's why we never go inside. We can never go from the lower time frame to higher time frame, or vice versa. We come from the higher time frame to the lower time frame to be all the time in a position that we are in a good probability scale. So now sometimes this not only we have this one, we could have two of these engulfings, okay? Or sometimes we don't have this engulfing up there, but we have two consecutive engulfing in the lower side of this. Okay, I mean, let me show you. Okay, here, now look, here we have this one, okay, but this engulfing is here and the overlapping is here. Let's say we didn't have this engulfing like that. Okay, let's say we had it here. It is possible to have three of them, no problem, okay? But sometimes if you don't have this engulfing, but your engulfing happens in the other side of this one, okay, I mean, other side of your QM level or failed engulfing level, okay? So again, here we need to have at least one, two candles here, again, one, two candles here. So when it is retracing back to this engulfing zone, okay, it becomes again high probable. The same scenario for the bearish, I mean the swing low. So you'll see that, okay, it could happen here. Not only it happens here, one more time here. And if you want to just take a double, I mean EG in the higher side of the swing high, we can use this one. This is second version of uh, this zone. So now all the setups, five setups are covered. All of these are you can find it in the PDF. So these are very high probable. The reason is the liquidity accumulation. Okay, so when there is a price that I mean it is jumping or it is shooting from one zone, so with high momentum, it shows that they had something that happened inside. The decision was made here. The liquidity was so much that the price could not just breach it, and it just bounced back rapidly. So you can identify that, okay, there are a lot of buyers and sellers, or now here we have imbalance, okay? So we have a lot of buyers here. We didn't have enough sellers to just at least for a while stay here and or at least try to go down. Okay, it couldn't consume the liquidity down, or it couldn't consume the liquidity up there, and it shut down like this one over here. Okay, so the way the price is leaving this zone is very, very important. You have to understand how to identify it. The first criteria is that the zone, I mean, the way it is leaving the zone, it should be spiky. It should be very strong. The second thing is that it shouldn't spend a lot of time here. Maximum, as Sam Siden says, or I think his correct pronunciation of his name is Sam Siden. So he said that maximum six candles, okay, not more than that. So the reason is that we don't need a lot of time when we have imbalance in between buyers and sellers. It should react maximum between 3 to 6 candles. Okay, and the other thing is that there should be a base candle here. Base candle means that you have to identify base candle using their shadow. The body of that candle should be less than the upper and lower candles sorry, wicks. Okay, if we have wick up there and wick down there, so we prefer the candle with the wick and the small candle. Okay, so we consider that one. And of course, when it is leaving, so as we said, it shot like rapidly. We didn't want to see, or we don't want to see any just retesting that zone immediately. Okay, so it should be fresh zone here or here. It doesn't matter. When I'm talking about the supply and demand zone, so we're gonna just consider the ones and filter out the others. Okay, so we consider the ones that they are one strong. They spend second. They spend less time in the zone, and the third one they are okay. They didn't have any kind of retest the first time leaving the zone. Okay. Now we're going to go on the chart, and you can also try to find these actually setups or let's say zones on your chart as well. So unless you do it on the chart, you cannot understand what happens. Okay. So now to summarize it, we need one engulf, two engulf, one engulfing fail. If they don't have any overlapping, it is MTF multi-time frame EG. But if they have engulfing, I mean overlapping, the same stuff, one, two, three, and if they have overlapping, it is AB zone. And not only that one, if we have this overlapping, and other than that one, we have one more engulfing. We call it ABC, okay, or QM, let's say, or hidden engulfing, okay, another name for that. And if we have another version of it, this engulfing could happen here. If it didn't happen here, it could happen here as well, or it could happen both here and there. Okay, so these are our all zones. So accumulation of the price, I mean liquidity is more important than just these setups. Okay, we cannot go blindly take setup. I mean trades based on just seeing these stuff. Although even based on this one, it is also really profitable. But try to just find the best zone as possible here. Okay. Now let's go onto the live chart. I mean, and you can see these zones, okay, how it happens. We can identify them. We don't need to know the names of this, and the names are not important. What happens inside this chart is important, okay? So let's dive into the live scenarios.